Welcome to NextGen Timber, where raw steel, brutal terrain, extreme heat, and heavy machines collide in the toughest industrial environments on Earth. This is where bulldozers, mining equipment, recovery crews, heavy transport, and fearless operators push machinery far beyond ordinary limits. The atmosphere changes fast as we enter the dangerous world of hot slag handling after metallurgy. This is not ordinary material. The heat alone can destroy machines if the operator makes even one small mistake. Specialized equipment and experienced drivers are These operators work only meters away from extreme temperatures, carefully controlling every movement while the machine fights heat, pressure, and limited visibility. Then the legendary D9G appears. It may be old, but machines like this earn their reputation the hard way. Construction companies still respect them because reliability matters more than flashy technology when the ground gets rough. That deep mechanical rumble, slow heavy movement, and classic steel design all say the same thing. This machine was built to survive. Simple systems, massive durability, and raw pushing power make it a true industrial survivor. Next, a small excavator battles a giant boulder on the edge of a steep mountainside. Every push looks risky. Every movement brings the machine closer to the ravine below. One unstable rock, one sudden slide, or one wrong control input could send the entire excavator over the edge. Mountain equipment work always carries this kind of tension because the terrain is fighting back every second. Then comes one of the most nerve-wracking moments in the video. Nobody wants to trust a weak bridge hanging over water, especially while driving a bulldozer across it. The operator clearly understands the risk. He only climbs back into the machine when the bulldozer is already close to the other side. That hesitation tells the whole story. Heavy equipment operators know danger better than most people ever will. Another display of hydraulic balance follows. The steel arm presses into the ground and lifts the entire machine into the air. Watching that much weight held by hydraulic force almost looks impossible, but the machine stays steady while the operator carefully maneuvers it. This is where skill and machine control become one system. Then comes a moment almost nobody expected. Deep snow, frozen mud, a bulldozer completely stuck, and suddenly a Tesla steps in to pull it free. One decisive pull, and the multi-ton machine starts moving again. Seeing an electric vehicle recover heavy equipment in those conditions feels surreal, but the torque speaks for itself. Then everything nearly goes wrong. Quick reflexes save the operator from disaster. If he had reacted even a second later, both he and that Cat 966H could have been crushed into scrap. Heavy machinery does not leave much room for hesitation. One delayed reaction, one unstable surface, or one bad move can turn routine work into a catastrophic accident. A strangely satisfying moment follows as the machine almost looks alive, bowing toward the audience like it knows people are watching. If you are enjoying the video so far, leave a comment and tell us which machine surprised you the most. Your support helps NextGen Timber bring more extreme heavy equipment footage to the channel. But the danger returns immediately. Even with another machine assisting from behind, the recovery cable snaps under pressure, and the excavator still crashes into the pit. Now the operator is facing repair costs, recovery costs, and costly downtime. Recovery operations always look simple until something fails under load. Next, the massive D11 reminds everyone why it is considered one of the kings of bulldozers. Watching it drag an enormous load uphill on a 4-degree incline with almost effortless force shows why these machines dominate mining and heavy earth moving. The brute power behind a D11 is hard to understand until you see it working under real load. If you are enjoying the heavy machinery action, leave a 1-inch in the comments and let us know which machine impressed you most. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is the time to join NextGen Timber, because there is still more extreme equipment ahead. Then we move into one of the smoothest examples of machine coordination in large-scale mining. The Cat 988Gs work in perfect rhythm with the dump truck. Every scoop, swing, and dump cycle happens with clean timing. Nothing feels rushed, but nothing slows down either. This is what high-efficiency mining looks like when skilled operators and powerful equipment work together properly. Next comes a strong example of operator skill under pressure. When the Cat D6N loses traction inside a muddy ditch, the operator uses the blade as a pivot point to slowly free the machine. By using the blade's weight and hydraulic force, he lifts and inches the bulldozer forward until traction returns. It is not flashy, but it is real field problem solving. Then comes the outcome everyone feared. The bridge was visibly unsafe, but the operator still tried crossing it. Seconds later, the structure collapses beneath the machine. Luckily, the water is shallow enough for the driver to escape safely, but the bulldozer is not so lucky. Chaos returns again when a pipe-laying machine finally gets upright. Everyone relaxes for a second, and then the operator drives it straight back into the ditch. Moments like this feel unreal because the entire recovery has to start over immediately. Then the scale of coordination becomes obvious. A full team of bulldozers works together with shocking synchronization. Every push matches the next machine. Massive blades move almost like one mechanical organism across the terrain. This is not chaos. This is discipline, experience, and raw industrial teamwork at full scale. The tone then shifts into something almost emotional. A machine that once cleared roads, pushed earth, and worked for years now sits motionless, waiting to be cut apart by the VTNC 7000 shear. Old machines carry history. They survive job sites, harsh environments, and major projects before reaching the scrapyard. Watching them dismantled feels like the end of an era. Would you keep a part of it as a memory, the steering wheel, a lever, or a badge from the cab? Share your thoughts below. Another operator then pushes skill to the limit. Not everyone would attempt this maneuver because the risk is high. The operator clearly trusts his hydraulics and his experience. But if the hydraulic system failed at the wrong moment, the result could be disastrous. Footage like this shows how much trust operators place in their machines every day. Then comes a moment that makes the scale obvious. That bucket is enormous. The machine carrying it looks less like construction equipment and more like a moving building. In heavy industry, size changes everything. What seems impossible at normal scale becomes routine when machines this large enter the job. The mood shifts again when winter arrives. The bulldozer slides across frozen terrain almost like it is riding a giant icy water slide. It looks strangely playful for a moment, but the conditions are still dangerous. Even massive industrial machines lose control when ice decides to take over. Next comes one of the most intimidating bulldozers ever built, the Komatsu D375A8. With a massive 7.2-ton operating weight and a semi-U blade over 4 meters wide, it attacks steep alpine terrain with overwhelming force. This machine is not just moving dirt. It is breaking rock, stabilizing roadbeds, and reshaping dangerous mountain ground. Every push throws huge volumes of stone and earth forward, while the machine crawls ahead with unstoppable traction. Then another recovery turns into disaster. Just as the crane boom brings the excavator near the pit edge, the entire arm tilts and collapses. Thankfully, nobody is hurt, but it becomes an expensive lesson about using the right equipment for heavy lifting. Handling massive loads without proper capacity is always a gamble. A few moments later, another dangerous situation nearly turns catastrophic. The machine tips hard enough to make your heart stop for a second. Luckily, the operator manages to force the cabin door open and escape safely. Heavy equipment accidents happen fast, and survival can come down to seconds. Then we move into another high-risk maneuver involving a Bobcat 246D. Slippery slope, large rocks, no counterweight, everything about the setup feels dangerous. The machine looks seconds away from smashing into the boulder below. Situations like this prove how important stability, counterweight, and positioning really are in rough terrain. How would you approach it more safely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Finally, we head into the brutal winter conditions of Kudia. Opening roads here requires more than horsepower. It takes coordination, endurance, and machines built for extreme cold. The lead machine carves the route forward while bulldozers behind it clear snow and level the frozen surface. From a distance, it may look quiet, but the impact is huge. Without operations like this, entire regions would remain isolated through winter. That is NextGen Timber. Bulldozers, mining machines, recovery systems, earth-moving giants, dangerous terrain, extreme winter operations, and operators pushing heavy equipment through impossible conditions every day. Subscribe now for more industrial power, extreme machinery, recovery operations, and real heavy equipment action from the toughest job sites on Earth.